Well, we're up and rolling, planting corn. April 24th. Got the tractor back today. It was in the shop getting worked on last week. Had some front end work done to it. So haven't been able to plant past week. Took it back in winter to get worked on and started planting a couple weeks ago, and one of the seals up there was leaking, so we took it back to them and got that fixed. So everything should be good up front. This was sprayed last week. Wheat cover crop sprayed last week, and we are planting corn. 32,000. And we are splitting this field right here. Splitting this field up right here and planting that side as one, and then this side down here as another one. Oh my goodness. Irrigation ruts. Reason being is harvesting corn, we cannot make it all the way down and back with a 12-row head, unloading or whatever, and split it, not quite in half, but split it up. That way we can unload on the go and not have to pull out when we go down the one way. That way the grain carts can keep up better. Plus, when we're down here, we just load up on the trucks and usually take them to town. And then that field down there, we put most of it in the bin since it's there close. And some exciting news is we got a hold of another field across the river, another 70 couple acres of good ground rented. So that'll be fun. Gonna put corn over there as well. But yep, everything's going good, and this might be the last year with this planter. We will see. Kind of got our eyes on a newer planter, and we might go with a 24-row 30-inch. We shall see. But this planter is 1240. It's been a good planter for us. Real good planter, like it a lot. Plants 15-inch beans as well. 1223 row. So if anybody's out there is interested, we're in Virginia. It's a 2012 1240. Holler if you got any questions on it. It's got roughly 7,000 acres or so. We just replaced the seed shoes and the firming points on all the rows, and starting to replace some of the openers, the leading discs the past year and this year. But pretty good planter, pretty good shape. But yeah, we're gonna keep on rolling and knock as many acres out tonight that we can. Looks like it might rain tomorrow or the next couple days, so get as much as we can in the ground. Already got all the early season beans done, and now we're working on corn. Hey. Just finish this field up. Got some done on Saturday, then got rained out, which we definitely needed the rain. Good to have. Now back at it on Monday. And got her finished up, going to head over and plant that strip in behind the pivot along the trees over yonder. Leslie's driving over there. Don't hit anything.
You know that pivot fly up in air and it fling everywhere?
Huh? I don't know about all that.
It goes bing. It goes flying.
Bumped it up to 33,000 in this better ground. But yep. Fill the planter up with some conventional seed corn, different than the seed corn in here, a little cheaper. Put it in a field across the road and see what it yields. See if it does any different. It's a lot cheaper per bag, and see what happens.
Will pivot. You pivot. A wide pivot either.
Finishing up this little patch on this side of the road. Got the 75 acre field in front of us done, and now we're getting this little 4 acre patch finished up, and boss man's out there scouting. He likes to follow the row marker. Better keep back from it, boy. Boy, this ground is playing nice though. Got some rain the other day, and it's already pretty mellow from the soybeans last year, and it has got good moisture in the ground, and it is planting wonderful. Planting wonderful. Get this done, and then we're gonna got a new field across the river to get probably tomorrow. Need some fuel and fuel truck is coming tomorrow, so we'll probably just wait till tomorrow. It's April 28th. Going good. And we're rolling again today, May 1st. Putting some end rows on this field. This is the first year planting this field. Got it rented out this year. There's some over here and some over there. There's an airport right there. Nice thing about this field, the guy before put a cover crop in it. Wheat. Killed it over 2 weeks ago, and now we're planting corn. So glad he put a cover crop in it to hold the ground in the winter. And he also injected manure in it last fall, so we should have some good fertility out here. We have pretty good dirt. Our fields are right across the river over there that we bought a couple years ago. All that's planted over there in corn, and this is all in corn. We'll finish this field today, hopefully, and then head to a neighbor's field to do. I don't know about tomorrow, Saturday, maybe Monday, we'll see. And then we'll head back home and finish up a couple fields there, and that'll be it until the wheat comes off. But yeah, it's planting good. If any of y'all out there running these planters, these 1200 series planters with pneumatic downforce, my downforce was always going up to 264, whatever it defaults to. And that poppet valve there on the back, the blue valve with the little poppet springs on each side, the one on the right was stuck. So we put some shop tool oil in it and then manually pressed down on it with a knife or flathead screwdriver and worked that oil into it. And so far it's been doing good because the downforce is reading about what we're calling for right there. So I think that fixed it. And then we just found one of them, I have to go back and take a video of it, but back there on the row unit, on the mini hopper, a piece that snaps on broke off, and the meter was, the mini hopper was overflowing, and because it didn't have that piece on it, that piece got stuck down where the seed drops down, and it wasn't. It was saying that it wasn't planting, the row wasn't planting, and that piece got down in there and was messing up the seed flow. I'll get a video of that. But I just grabbed one from off a bean unit and popped it on there for now, which that's the nice thing about having a splitter unit. Splinter planter, you can always, if you need a part, bum one off the other units if you're planting 30 inch. If you're planting 15 inch, you better have a spare part. But yep, we're gonna keep on rolling and try and get this field knocked out today. So the other day we were in one field, and one of these row units, I think number 17, doesn't really matter, but one of these row units was saying that it wasn't planting, or it was on and off, and came back here, flipped this open, and there was seed in it all the way to the top, and didn't notice it at first, but it's not supposed to be filled up all the way to the top. It's supposed to be filled up right there at the bottom of that rubber elbow, they call it, like that. And turns out that piece broke off, probably from the wear and tear, hitting some rocks over the years. This is a 2012, so it's going on 14-year-old planter. And here's the new one. Part number. I'm gonna put that on. Actually had another one go out the last field we planted, so we got 2 to do. But that thing came off, and then it got jammed down in there with seed on top of it, and it was affecting the flow of the seed down to the meter, so that's why. But you couldn't see it because it was all filled up with corn seed, so I had to dig out the corn seed and then pull that elbow out and replace it now. First time I've ever had to mess with these, but yep. Neighbor's out cutting alfalfa. The mower over there. And a tedder right there. And we're over here planting corn. Should be able to finish this field tonight. Everything is going good. 32,000. Up next to the airport. Up here planting the last field in Timberville for a neighbor. And it is a bit dusty. Got good moisture in the ground though. Chance of rain the next couple days. Get this field done and then we're gonna head back home. Got some fields around the house. The home place to do. Cows are still grazing those fields though. They got cover crops in them, unlike this one. And that's why the dust is rolling, because there's no cover crop out here, nothing holding the ground. But that's just how this guy farms. I guess we could have maybe convinced him to, but these were double crop beans that we harvested back in the fall, so I'm betting that the cover crop deadline was already after that to get paid. So if that's the case, then you gotta spend the money yourself on seed, which in our opinion it's worth it, just to have something growing and holding the ground throughout the winter. But I don't know, when you're that late in the year. There's a beer can. Huh. That late in the year, mid-November or whenever it was, I can't remember, but cover crop doesn't get up and growing as good as those that are planted in, say, September, October, because of the cool weather that late in the year. But yep, we're letting the dust roll. Planting the dust and the bins will bust. Well, we're back planting at home. What on, Mayo? Milo. Planting corn. Some of this field was sprayed, like over yonder, and cows were in this part grazing it a while back. It hasn't gotten sprayed yet. And they are over in that other field, grazing in that field. Some of Dad's cows. He just moved them out of the field that's over there across the hill. They got a good graze off of it. I started planting in that field over there and it was just too dry. Ground was too hard from the cows being on it, so we're gonna let it rest a little bit, maybe get a rain on it hopefully, and this over here is planting a lot better. Had to up the downforce and put it down a little deeper since we are a bit drier. What do you think? You got your mouth full of snacks? But yeah, things are going good. And some this will be the last year with this planter. If anyone is, might have mentioned it before, but if anyone's interested, 2012 Case IH 1223 row 1240. It will be for sale once we're done with it. We are getting newer 1255 front fold 24 row 30-inch, which will be nice because it'll be twice as big as this one, so we should be able to get done twice as fast. Got a fresh load of Pearson livestock equipment and some Lynn post and pipe continuous fence panels just this past week. And I believe there's a couple corrals over there. One or two of them might be sold. But whatever your livestock equipment needs, we more than likely got it on hand, got it in stock, or we can get it for you. Give us a shout. You make mass. Golly, yeah, boy. We are just about done with this field. Found another hitchhiker. anybody wondering why we have not been rolling any cover crops, several reasons. One, it's been a dry spring and we have not gotten a whole lot of growth out of our cover crops to be able to roll them. To be able to get a good roll, you gotta have a good bit of height on them so you can get a good bend crack at the base and crack that stem. We're still learning. Last year was our first year doing it, and it worked good last year, but this year we just didn't get, it's been dry. And like this stuff right here that we're planting in is probably the tallest, probably some of the tallest cover crop we've had, and it's not that tall. But that and all our cover crops were wheat, and from talking to other folks and looking on the internet and YouTube, if you're planting corn after a rye or possibly wheat too cover crop, planting it green, there's studies behind it that you will see yield drag, you will see root rot, seedling disease. Iowa State had a good presentation on YouTube about it, and they got some good trials and tests behind it, backing it up. And their recommendation was to wait at least a week or 2 weeks after spraying it to plant, so you don't have the risk of seedling disease, root rot, and yield drag. And we saw that in a cornfield that we did last year, planted it green. It just didn't yield as good as the other fields that we didn't plant green. So that's why. So if we do want to plant corn green in the future, we need to have a legume cover crop out there instead of rye or wheat, like crimson clover or vetch, which we might try some crimson clover this fall, we'll see, but need to have more of a legume cover crop that doesn't affect the corn crop, and also helps if you can get it up, the cover crop mature enough, you can fix some nitrogen in the ground for your corn. So, several reasons why we haven't done it. Now the bean fields that we had, we planted those green because apparently it's not as big of a deal when you plant beans green into rye or wheat, from what I understand. And if anybody has any knowledge or input on this stuff, feel free to comment, because that's what we've been seeing and experiencing with these newer ways to crop farm. And like I said before, in this field, this got sprayed, I'm sure it's been 2 weeks ago. And then Dad had the cows grazing this part ahead of us and to the north, and they're still in the field to the east right now. And up ahead of us, you'll see where he quit spraying And we will watch with the combine this fall if we see a yield difference going in and out of it. But yeah, the roller crimper, I don't think it will get used this year just because of how we had things. And looks like he's gonna come out now and spray this patch. But yep, there's our test plot line. But yep, we'll see how it does this fall. This will be a test, and yeah. Planting green is great, works good, but there's also a lot to learn about it, and as far as what cover crop blends to use to help your next cash crop, and if you want to roll them down to help prevent weeds and lay that nice mat on the ground. But where we can get cows to, we like to graze these cover crops especially with cattle prices now. They're extremely high, and cattle gain good off this wheat this time of year, and it pays pretty good. Not only are you holding your ground through the winter, but you're feeding your cows from the cover crop, plus putting down more fertilizer, poop and pee for the next cash crop. Got a nice sunset. But yep, we're gonna finish this field up and call her a week. Today's Saturday, and yeah, hopefully we get some rain next week. So we started planting the headlands in this field back Saturday. Today's Tuesday, and it just wasn't going in the ground that well. It was pretty dry, and Dad just pulled the cows out of here a couple days before. So with the hoof action and being dry, it just wasn't going in the ground that good, even with the down pressure up and the depth somewhat deep. So hopped across the driveway and planted 50 acres to the south of us that didn't have cows in it, most of it, and it planted a lot better. And then here Saturday night or Sunday, got some rain, maybe a ½ inch, and it definitely helped because it's going in a lot better now. Got some more moisture in the ground, and row units are putting it in the ground there at 2 inches, a lot better. But yeah, these fields were here around the home place. They were grazed, the corn stalks, back in the fall for a while. Dad's little group of cows he's got here. And then the cover crop was put in before the cows were put in here to graze the corn stalks. And now they're grazing the cover crop. They've been grazing it the past month or so. And now we're planting back in corn. And since we were able to graze both the stalks and the cover crop, we don't have near the amount of corn stalk residue to plant through. And they got a good graze off this wheat too. Down to a couple inches. But yeah, it just works good. Works real good. A couple more passes and we'll finish this little patch up. Well, we're planting this other patch today. Got the cows moved out of here yesterday. That's why we got some fresh fertilizer on the tires. You're not a real row cropper unless you get cow poo on your tractor tires. It's just a joke. Planting nice. That rain we got the other day. Nice little ditch right there. Could have left the cows in here a little longer to clean it up more, but Dad wanted to move them back to pasture and get the corn in the ground, so that's what we're doing. Cover crop is wheat. Cows do good on that. Real good. But yep, we got this little patch to knock out today, this evening, and then we got another field down the road to do, and then it's going in corn also, I believe. It has been, cows have been in it the past month or so as well, grazing it. And then that will finish up corn and beans. And that'll be it until double crops in July, into June, July, and by that time we should have a new to us planter to run, which will be pretty exciting. 24 row 30 inch instead of a 12 row 30 inch. See the rows in that other field that was planted. But yeah, I'm gonna get this field knocked out. Call her an evening. Finishing up the last field for the year, and we got a boomer coming. Last pass. Trying to beat the rain. Cows are over yonder. They're still in this field, grazing this wheat. We'll get them out of here shortly, especially if it rains. Wasn't much of a chance this morning, and well, what do you know? We'll take it.